Now stay tuned for the premiere of The Weakest Link on NBC.
Goodbye.
Here are the 8 contestants who will take part in tonight's show. One of them will walk away with up to $1 million. The rest will leave with nothing. As round by round, they're voted off as the weakest link.
Welcome to The Weakest Link. Any of the 8 people in the studio here tonight could win up to $1 million. They don't know each other, however. If they want the money, they'll have to work as a team. But 7 of them will leave with nothing. As round by round, we eliminate the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm Marcus, 45, Airport Operations Supervisor, Miami, Florida.
Kira, 26, Hollywood, California, bartender.
Karen, 29, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, attorney.
John, 42, Camden, New Jersey, funeral director and embalmer.
Renee, Lake Stevens, Washington, 32, placement advisor.
Jeff, 31, from Wayne, New Jersey. I'm a personal trainer.
James, 18, from Ventura, California. I'm a student.
Mary, 48, Los Angeles, California. I'm an executive recruiter.
Now, the rules. In each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your $125,000 target within the time limit. There are 8 of you, so the fastest way to reach that target is to create a chain of 8 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in the chain. But if you say the word bank before your question is asked, the money is safe. However, you'll start a brand new chain. Remember, at the end of the round, only money that has been banked can be carried over to the next round. The first round lasts for 2.5 minutes. The order you're playing in was randomly selected before the show. We'll start with a player in the first position. That's you, Marcus. Let's play The Weakest Link. The first question is for $1,000. Start the clock. Marcus, in television, what 70s cops were played by David Soul and Paul Michael Glazer?
Starsky Hutch.
Correct. Kira, what dolls designed by artist Xavier Roberts were shoppers scrambling to buy in the 1983 Christmas season?
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Correct. Karen, in geography, Marblehead is a suburb of which U.S. city, Baltimore or Boston?
Boston.
Correct. John, what president of the National American Women's Suffrage Association appeared on a U.S. dollar coin?
Susan B. Anthony.
Correct. Renee, in business, name the CNN founder, now separated from Jane Fonda, who is known as the Mouse from the South.
Ted Turner.
Correct. Jeff.
Bank.
The movies Get Shorty and Out of Sight were both based on novels by which writer?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
The movies Get Shorty and Out of Sight were both based on novels by which writer?
Artie Lang.
Elmore Leonard. James, at the Vatican, when a new pope is elected, it is announced by a plume of which colour smoke?
Red.
White. Mary. In theatre, Oscar Hammerstein wrote the lyrics for the Broadway show South Pacific. Who composed the music?
Richard Rodgers.
Correct. Marcus, what does the W in George W. Bush stand for?
William.
Walker. Kira, the Fat Boy and the Hugger are models produced by which U.S. motorcycle manufacturer?
Harley Davidson.
Correct. Karen, in advertising, which insurance company's slogan tells you to get a piece of the rock?
Prudential.
Correct. John, who was the first African-American to be crowned Miss America?
Vanessa Williams.
Correct. Renee, in geometry, what type of angle measures greater than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees?
An obtuse.
Correct. Jeff, according to the lyrics of the classic Christmas song, what were Frosty the Snowman's eyes made of?
Buttons.
Cole. James, The U.S. Department of Defense's headquarters are located in which Arlington, Virginia building?
The Pentagon.
Correct, Mary. Who painted the creation of Adam on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel?
Michelangelo.
Correct. Marcus.
Bank.
Blubber and Superfudge are both coming-of-age books written by which author?
Repeat it, please.
Blubber and Superfudge are... We are out of time. And out of a possible $125,000 in that first-round team, you banked a very disappointing $27,500. That money will go to the next round. But one of you, very deservedly, will not. Whose knowledge is best suited to watching television, certainly, and not appearing on it. One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
The team will have to rely on their memory and instinct as they make this decision, but statistically, Renee is the strongest link in this round. Jeff banked the most money for the team, but he is the weakest link as he got the most questions wrong. But will the votes follow the facts?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Jeff.
James.
Jeff.
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 Marcus.
Marcus.
Jeff.
Karen, how's it going for you?
Not too bad, thank you.
Don't thank me, Karen. It's very early in the game. Had enough of Jeff?
Not had enough of Jeff the person, but he did lose us $25,000 when he didn't bank.
What do you do, Karen?
I'm an attorney.
Are you? Do you have to count if you're an attorney?
Thank God, no.
No. Thank God for your clients, because he only lost $10,000. Marcus, what do you do?
Supervisor for an airport operations.
And were you so busy supervising the election passed you by?
Being that I'm a Democrat, the W is one I want to forget.
Oh, I see. So it's of no interest to you who the president is of the United States. Why did you vote for Jeff?
He didn't know about Frosty the Snowman.
Jeff, the personal trainer who, alas, has worked on his body and not on his brain. With 5 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I was taking the walk of shame out of here, and you know what? I was just so disappointed because I was their best shot to win that $1 million. The next one voted off is definitely Marcus. I mean, anybody who doesn't know the President of the United States of America's name shouldn't even be in this country. He should be in Canada.
7 have made it this far, but only 1 will win. Find out who has reached the level of competence and can go no further when we return to the weakest link.
Judy, tell Emily and Justin I'll need that report in 18 seconds.
Lunch is over. Who wants a report? Print it out.
Wait, I'm making a trade.
Now? Are you insane? I'm gonna be here in like 10 seconds.
Relax. It's Ameritrade. I can do this.
7, 6. I should leave now. Bye.
Nice work, Emily. Justin.
Thank you, sir.
Go to Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade. It's how you get somewhere on Wall Street.
Plumpity plump. Almay plumps lashes twice, inside and out, with the Almay Insider. Panthenol and vitamins help plump lashes on the inside. Gel-like color plumps outside. Even puny lashes look plump. The Almay Insider.
Introducing new extra crispy chicken from KFC. No matter what you hear, it's not just the crunch. It's the flavor in the crunch that makes you munch. We've added extra flavor down to the bone to make it extra tasty. For a short time, get 2 pieces, 2 sides, and biscuit for just $2.99. Or 12 pieces for $9.99. New extra crispy chicken from KFC. It's not just the crunch. It's the flavor in the crunch that makes you munch.
can you win real cash and prizes yourself without ever leaving home? Find it at nbci.com/prizes.
I watch this guy in his bathroom when he's getting ready for work. I don't know how old he is. 27, 28 maybe?
I want you to want me.
He's really not my type.
Welcome back to the weakest link. Round 2, team. You've banked $27,500 so far out of a possible $125,000. 7 of you are left. 10 seconds is coming off the clock. So this time you have 2 minutes and 20 seconds. To remind you, only the money banked will be carried over to the next round. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Renee. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Renee, in language, what K is a brand of shoe polish, a flightless bird, and a fruit?
Kiwi.
Correct, James. Once the wealthiest man in the world, which American billionaire established an art museum in Malibu, California?
J. Paul Getty.
Correct. Mary, in television, which fitness guru stars in the workout videos Disco Sweat and Sweatin' to the Oldies?
Richard Simmons.
Correct. Marcus, in nature, a giant panda's main source of food is derived from which type of woody tropical grass?
Bamboo.
Correct. Kira, which star of the movies Dead Ringers and Lolita can also be found in print ads for Donna Karan?
Elizabeth Hurley.
Jeremy Irons. Karen. In history, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo established peace between Mexico and which other country?
Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah. In history, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo established peace between Mexico and which other country?
United States.
Correct. John. What A is both a heavy metal rock band and infectious livestock disease?
Anthrax.
Correct. Renee, in movies, for which film did Paul Newman win an Academy Award for Best Actor?
The Color of Money.
Correct. James.
Bank.
In sports, which baseball slugger was known as the Yankee Clipper?
Joe DiMaggio.
Correct. Mary, in education, which British university is older, Cambridge or Oxford?
Oxford.
Correct. Marcus,
Bank.
what is the 2-word motto for the Boy Scouts of America?
Always faithful.
Be prepared. Kira, which Nobel Prize winner did Time magazine name Person of the Century?
Nelson Mandela.
Albert Einstein. Karen, which delivery company is famous for the slogan, when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight?
FedEx.
Correct. John, which O is the Japanese art of decorative paper folding?
Origami.
Correct. Renee, in science, which 15th century Polish astronomer was the first to suggest that Earth orbits the sun?
Galileo.
Time is up. The correct answer is Copernicus. And out of a possible $125,000, team, in that round, you banked a miserable, depressing, pathetic $7,500. That money will, however, go through to the next round, but one of you will not. Who is keeping you out of the upper tax bracket? One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Kira is the weakest link statistically, as she got all of her questions wrong. James is the strongest link in this round. He answered all of his questions correctly and banked the most money. But will the team have noticed?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Kira.
Marcus.
Kira.
Renee.
Kira.
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 Mary.
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm an executive recruiter.
Are you?
Yes.
Would you recruit Kira?
If she were a psychiatric nurse, yes.
Why have you voted her off?
She doesn't seem to know the answers to the questions.
Renee, what do you do?
I'm a placement advisor at a truck driving school.
And would you hire Kira?
No.
Why not?
Well, she hesitated on every question and got them all wrong.
Marcus,
Yes.
where are you from?
Miami, Florida.
And tell me, Marcus, in Miami, Florida, do the scouts go round saying, always faithful, always faithful? Kira, the bartender, it's time to fix yourself a very hefty drink. With 5 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
When I realized that I was voted off, it made me very, very angry because all of those people there are losers. Marcus, he thinks the Boy Scouts of America say, always faithful? Give me a break. When Renee kept saying that I was hesitating, ask her about Jeremy Irons and if he was a Donna Karen model. Who in the world knows that?
6 players remain, but any one of them could be voted off next. Find out who's tripped up just once too often when we return to the weakest link. Welcome back to the weakest link. Round 3, team. You have so far banked $35,000 out of a possible $250,000. Perhaps you need reminding of the rules. The fastest way to reach that target of $125,000 in each round is to create a chain of 8 correct answers. Get your question wrong, and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say bank before the question is asked, the money will be safe. However, you start a new chain. Remember, only the money banked will be carried over to the next round. Bank nothing, win nothing. So, 6 of you left, another 10 seconds off the clock. This time, you have 2 minutes and 10 seconds. We start with the strongest link from the last round. That's James. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. James, in geometry, how many total sides are there on a nonagon?
9.
Correct. Mary, the Beatles made their American television debut performing on which 1960s variety show?
Ed Sullivan.
Correct. Marcus, which dessert made with ladyfingers and espresso gets its name from the Italian phrase, pick me up?
Ladyfingers.
No, tiramisu. Karen, the 4 Gospels of the New Testament are attributed to Matthew, Mark, John, and whom?
Job?
Luke. John, which Guinness Book record holder for tap dancing developed the show Lord of the Dance?
Michael Flatley.
Correct. Renee, the highest temperature ever recorded on Earth was at the town of El Asia on which continent?
Asia.
Africa. James, in politics, Sinn Féin is considered the political wing of which military organisation?
The IRA.
Yes, the Irish Republican Army. Mary, trademarked by DuPont in 1946, which coating is used on cooking utensils to prevent sticking?
Teflon.
Correct. Marcus, which type of steerable balloon airship is named for the German count who invented it?
Dirigible.
Zeppelin. Karen, in politics, which former KGB agent succeeded Boris Yeltsin as president of Russia?
I don't know.
Vladimir Putin. John, in geography, which of the United States is nicknamed the Keystone State?
Pennsylvania.
Correct. Renee.
Bank.
Which Oscar-nominated actor interviewed President Clinton for an Earth Day 2000 network TV special?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Correct. James, in movies, Scamp's Adventure is the home video sequel to which Disney animated film?
I don't know.
Lady and the Tramp. Mary, Attributed to an ancient Greek, what is the traditional oath taken by physicians to observe medical ethics?
The Hippocratic Oath.
That is the correct answer, but time is up. And in that round, team, you banked an embarrassing $1,000. That money will go through to the next round, but one of you will not. Whose knowledge is very, very small indeed. One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Marcus is the weakest link in this round. He got all of his questions wrong and lost the most money. Mary is the strongest link statistically. However, Renee is the only player to have actually banked any money for the team. How will the votes go?
Okay, voting over. It's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Karen.
Marcus.
Karen.
Marcus.
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 James, remind me what you do.
I am a student at St. Bonaventure High School, where I'm a senior.
Good grades?
Reasonably?
How reasonably?
Well, I'm number one in my class right now.
You must come back after you've been to college, James. You think Marcus would make the grade?
I don't think he would.
Why's that, James?
He seemed to take too long on the questions, and the ones where he didn't seem to get the right answer.
Renee?
Yes.
Why Marcus?
He choked. He took too long. He obviously didn't know the answer in the first place and wasted the time deciding which wrong answer he was going to give.
Karen? Why Marcus?
Because Marcus took way too long to answer a simple question as tiramisu.
And you'd have known that, would you, Karen?
Absolutely.
Marcus, who's an airline supervisor. Your flight is about to leave. With 4 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
On my way out, put my hand up, stopped. It was directed totally towards Karen. That was it. It was shutting her off, letting her know, I'm not taking your stuff. Second place doesn't count, third place doesn't count. The experience does not count. I came to win, and I blew it.
Round 4, team, and you've banked $36,000 so far out of a possible $375,000. There are 5 of you left, another 10 seconds coming off the clock. So this time you have 2 minutes. Remember, only the money banked will be carried over to the next round. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Mary. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Mary, in science, which famous French oceanic explorer invented the aqualung?
Jacques Cousteau.
Correct. Karen, named in honor of Antoinette Perry, what annual award is given for excellence in theater?
The Tonys.
Correct, John. In periodicals, which American magazine founded by Jan Wenner has had Mick Jagger on its cover over 20 times?
Rolling Stone.
Correct, Renee. In business, which Minneapolis company owns the brands Betty Crocker and Cheerios?
General Mills.
Correct, James.
Bank.
What A is both a loose knotted scarf and a horse racing track in England?
Churchill Downs.
Ascot. Mary. In advertising, which paper towel brand calls itself the quicker picker upper?
Bounty.
Correct. Karen, in music, before releasing Wednesday Morning 3 a.m., which duo recorded under the alias Tom and Jerry?
I don't know.
Simon and Garfunkel. John.
Bank.
Named for a Swiss doctor, which psychological test is based on interpretations of a series of standard ink blots?
I don't know.
Rorschach. Renee. In nature, cirrus, nimbus, and stratus are all forms of what?
Clouds.
Correct, James. In art, Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa in which century?
1650.
16th century. Mary. In mathematics, what p is a fraction of ratio with 100 as the denominator?
Pi.
Percentage. Karen. Which rival circus duo did the Ringling Brothers buy out in 1907?
The Big Apple Circus.
Barnum and Bailey. John. In history, JFK assassin Lee Harvey Oswald was in turn shot by whom?
Jack Ruby.
Correct, Renee. In language, a word or phrase that reads the same forward and backwards. Time is up. I cannot complete the question, and in that round, you banked $10,000 out of a possible $125,000. That money will go through to the next round, but one of you will not. Who should be put out of their misery? Which one of your teammates is gumming up the works? You need to be ruthless to be rich. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Renee is the strongest link in this round. She was the only player to answer all of her questions correctly. James is statistically the weakest link in this round, as he answered all of his questions wrong. However, he is the only player in the round to bank any money for the team. Will that be enough to save him?
One of these 5 players has reached their end. Someone is beyond redemption. When we come back, we'll count the votes and excommunicate the weakest link.
She'll tease them.
Would anybody care for another burger?
I'll have a hot dog if you have one.
Seduce them.
Do you like water?
It's my second favorite thing in the world.
What's your first favorite?
Excite them.
How come you never wear a uniform? I bet you look real good in it.
But they're about to discover
Everywhere you go, there's a dead guy.
they're all part of her plan.
I gotta admit, she's not perfect. How not perfect can one woman be?
One night at McCool's.
What's going on?
It's not what it looks like.
Rated R. Starts Friday, April 27th everywhere.
You Jane?
Jane, your blind date's here. Right there.
Got something for me? Jane?
Shoot videos. Email them instantly. The digital 8 Handycam from Sony.
Jane?
Heartburn, Harry. Guess it's time to break out the Tums.
I thought I'd try this new stuff, Pepsid Complete.
Well, what was it before? Incomplete.
Who knows? But they added an antacid, so they call it Complete.
Well, if you need an antacid, Harry, you want the Tums.
That's because dose for dose, Tums Ultra neutralizes twice as much acid as Pepsid Complete's antacid. Yet the Pepsid costs almost 4 times as much as the Tums.
So, Harry, did the Tums do it?
Completely.
Tums.
Dad, what's it like to drive?
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom.
The Mazda 626 with available V6 power.
Zoom, zoom.
Remember how it felt? That's how it feels.
There's a revolution going on inside your computer. It's called Quick Click from NBCI.com. See a word, click it, and you're instantly linked to more information about that word. Quick Click works on any word, anywhere on your computer, even email.
Any word?
Any word, click it, get information. Any word, click it, get information. Are you with me? Quick Click, you can't get it from Yahoo, only from NBCI.com.
NBC Tonight, all new Third Watch.
We got fire.
A production so huge, it brought New York to a standstill.
The whole damn thing's coming down. We don't give up.
A Third Watch spectacle with the New York Giants' Jason Sehorn.
Come on.
This one could take everything they've got. Third Watch Inferno, all new NBC Tonight.
Welcome back to the weakest link. Okay, team, voting over. It's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
James.
Karen.
James.
Karen.
Karen.
Remind us what you do.
I'm a funeral director and embalmer.
Why Karen?
She's outlived her usefulness.
James, why Karen?
I think that over the long run, that eliminating Karen would be beneficial for the team.
Did you think she was the weakest link?
I did indeed.
Statistically, she wasn't, of course.
I know that, but I think that having me on this team for the next couple rounds will prove better for the team than having Karen.
James, top of his class, he tells us, was the weakest link. But it's votes that count. With 3 votes, you are the weakest link. Bye.
I'm not very happy about being voted off at this point in the game. I feel that I should have been kept on at least for another round since I statistically wasn't the weakest person on that team. I think James should be the next one voted off. He's 18, he's still in high school. He doesn't have the vocabulary, he doesn't have the background, he doesn't have the education. He doesn't deserve to be there any longer.
Round 5, team, you've banked $46,000 out of a possible $500,000. I obviously need to remind you the fastest way to reach that target is to create a chain of 8 correct answers. If you get a question wrong, you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say bank before your question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain. Remember, only money banked will be carried over to the next round. So, 4 of you left, another 10 seconds coming off the clock. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Renee. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Renee, which actress is married to Ally McBeal creator David E. Kelly?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Correct, James. In sports, which city is host to horse racing's Kentucky Derby?
Louisville.
Correct, Mary. What is the name of the U.S. Navy's 6-jet precision flying team?
The Blue Angels.
Correct, John. In movies, which Japanese filmmaker directed the movie Rashomon?
Kurosawa.
Correct, Rennie.
Bank.
What P is the interactive robotic toy dog manufactured by Tiger Electronics?
Poochie.
Correct, James. Modern U.S. dimes are made of nickel and which other metallic element?
Copper.
Correct, Mary. In nature, heroin and opium are derived from the seed pods of which type of flower?
Poppy.
Correct, John.
Bank.
In fashion, which New York socialite's designer jean label featured a swan as an emblem?
Gloria Vanderbilt.
Correct, Renee. In television, which comic duo did Michael McKean and David L. Lander play on Laverne and Shirley?
I don't remember.
Lenny and Squiggy. James. Which camera introduced by Eastman Kodak in 1900 was originally sold for $1?
35mm camera.
Brownie. Mary. In music, which R&B girl group went multi-platinum in the US with the top 10 album Funky Divas?
Don't know.
On Vogue. John. How many squares are on playing surface of a standard chessboard?
36.
64. Rennie. Meaning house of bread in Hebrew, which town is believed to be the birthplace of Jesus Christ?
Nazareth.
Bethlehem. James. What F is a strategy used in the U.S. Senate to delay or prevent voting on proposed legislation?
Filibuster.
Correct, Mary. Time is up. You banked $15,000, and that money will go through to the next round, but one of you will not. Whose mind is too small to be let out on its own? One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
This time, James is the strongest link, having answered the most questions correctly. Renee is the weakest link statistically, even though she banked the most money for the team. But will the others have noticed?
Okay, voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
James.
John.
Renee.
James.
John. So James is dead in the water.
As far as I'm concerned,
Why?
I just think he needs to go back to school.
Mary, why James?
I think he's out of his league at this point.
Statistically, the worst player was Renee. She went from strongest link to statistically weakest link in 1 minute 50 seconds. But she survived. James, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Having me walk the walk of shame was absolutely ridiculous. Renee had the worst percentage of all the contestants in that last round. I don't see why she wasn't voted off.
Round 6, you've banked $61,000 so far out of a possible $625,000. There are 3 of you left, another 10 seconds coming off the clock, but remember, only money banked can be carried over. You voted off the strongest link from the last round, so we'll start with the second strongest link. That's you, John. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. John, by what professional name was film legend Julius Marx better known?
Groucho Marx.
Correct. Renee, in business, what table salt company features an image of a girl with an umbrella on its package?
Skill.
Morton. Mary, on television's Frasier, which actress plays physical therapist Daphne Moon?
I don't know.
Jane Leaves. John.
Yeah.
In holidays, which U.S. federal observance occurs on the last Monday in May?
Memorial Day.
Correct, Renee. Named for its creator, what M is a type of bed that folds up inside a wall or closet?
Murphy.
Correct, Mary. In professional tennis, which is the only Grand Slam event currently played on clay?
Wimbledon.
The French Open. John, in movies, Oprah Winfrey starred in the film adaptation of which Toni Morrison book?
The Color Purple.
Beloved. Renee, in medicine, which Latin term describes the stiffening of muscles after death?
Rigor mortis.
Correct, Mary. The day after the 1948 presidential election, the Chicago Daily Tribune ran what inaccurate headline?
Dewey wins.
No, Dewey defeats Truman. John.
Bank.
In literature, who wrote the definitive beat novel titled On the Road?
I don't know.
Jack Kerouac. Renee, in beverages, what G is an Italian brandy distilled from post-pressed grape residue?
Would you repeat that, please?
In beverages, what G is an Italian brandy distilled from post-pressed grapes residue?
Galliano.
Time is up. The correct answer is grappa. You managed to bank a magnificent $0 in that round. Now, in round 7, you get the chance to double what you bank. That requires you to have banked something in the first place. Potentially, there's $250,000 to be won. The question is, who's passed their best? Who is not up to scratch? For whom does the bell toll? One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
At this vital stage of the game, Mary is the weakest link. She is the only player to get all of her questions wrong. For the 3rd time this game, Renee is statistically the strongest link, but it's the votes that will ultimately decide.
Only 2 of these 3 people will move on to the final round. 1 more player will take the walk of shame when we return to the weakest link.
I ran out of film.
You want to try mine?
The new Kodak Max HQ.
It won't match.
The best lens, flash, and film of any one-time use camera.
It's not gonna match.
Finally, a one-time use camera that takes pictures as good as a 35mm point and shoot.
It's a perfect match.
Not just yet.
Share the moment, share the life.
Introducing new Twisted Crust Pizza from Pizza Hut. It's breadsticks, it's pizza, it's both, with your choice of free marinara or ranch dipping sauce. It's a totally twisted new way of eating pizza. The Twisted Crust Pizza from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
This summer, they're coming.
Awesome!
To wipe that silly smile off your planet. Big ones.
Any ideas?
Little ones.
Snag one for science.
I seen this movie. The black dude dies first.
Nasty ones.
Oh, that's like a big loogie.
They're getting under your skin.
We might have to amputate.
Whoa, Doc! Don't take the leg!
Setting for his crotch.
Take it! Take the leg!
Evolution, rated PG-13. It starts Friday, June 8th, everywhere.
You're watching The Weakest Link on NBC. Goodbye.
Want to be a contestant on Weakest Link? Call our contestant hotline at 800-416-9191 or log on to NBCI.com/weakestlink.
NBC Monday, a special Dateline interactive event. You were an eyewitness to a crime, but what did you really see? This is no game. Work with a sketch artist. Observe a lineup. Could you put the right man behind bars? It's another Dateline interactive event. Eyewitness. Dateline, next on NBC.
I'm Warner Saunders. Tonight at 10, a close call in the suburbs when a holiday package explodes. The latest on that investigation. And do you take birth control pills? Important new information about cancer and the pill. Then a local hero returns home. We're live with the celebration tonight at 10 on NBC 5 News.
Announcing the Big Bed Sale all this month at Value City Furniture.
Big beds?
Big savings.
Big savings on big beds?
You could say that. Just look. Iron beds, solid wood beds, modern beds, poster beds, wall beds, you name it. And prices as low as $199.
That's pretty big, all right.
You betcha. The Big Bed Sale all this month at Value City Furniture. You just can't do any bigger.
You mean better?
Right. Better.
You've been finding news, sports, weather, traffic, healthcare, all your information needs here. Now here is all new. The new NBC5.com. Faster, easier, better information. The new NBC5.com. Finding it here has never been better.
Number 1 in Chicago, NBC 5 News at 5 a.m.
Welcome back to The Weakest Link. Okay, team, voting's over. It's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Mary.
Mary.
Renee.
Team, we have tried very hard to give you money tonight. $750,000 has been at your disposal, and you have managed to claim less than 10% of it. John the Undertaker.
Yes.
Why Mary?
Well, her poor banking skills and not getting the answers right.
Mary, with 2 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I believe John and Renee voted against me because neither one of them wanted to go one-on-one against me. I think Renee should be sitting here. I think her overall knowledge was very spotty, and I believe I'm a stronger player than Renee.
Round 7. You've banked $61,000 so far out of a possible $750,000. John and Renee, just the 2 of you left, and this time you have only 90 seconds. But whatever you win in this round will be doubled and added to your total to make up your grand prize money. So $250,000 is at stake. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Renee. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Renee, in music, the 2001 Grammy for Best New Artist went to which female country music veteran?
Shelby Lynn.
Correct, John. According to Norse mythology, what V is where warriors go when they die?
Valhalla.
Correct, Renee. In fashion, the material cashmere is derived from the wool of which animal?
Goat.
Correct, John.
Bank.
Which Microsoft billionaire owns the Seattle Seahawks and the Portland Trailblazers?
Bill Gates.
Paul Allen. Renee, what red-crescented finch is the state bird of 7 different states?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
What red-crested finch is the state bird of 7 different states?
Oriole.
The cardinal. John, in religion, which Irish plant did St. Patrick use to illustrate the Holy Trinity?
The clover.
I'll accept clover, shamrock or clover. Renee. In
Bank.
history, which country fought against Great Britain in the Falkland Islands War?
Argentina.
Correct, John. In television, which network produces and airs the programs behind the music and storytellers?
NBCI.com.
No. Video Hits 1. Renee, what P is the temple of the goddess Athena found on the Acropolis?
I'm sorry, repeat that, please.
What P is the temple of the goddess Athena found on the Acropolis?
Parthenon.
That is the correct answer, but time is up. And between you in that round, you managed to bank $6,000. We'll double that amount and add it to the bank money from the other rounds. So, tonight, out of a possible $1 million, you have a total of $73,000. But of course, only one of these 2 players could take that money home. The other will receive absolutely nothing when we return to the weakest link.
The all-new 2002 Ford Explorer. Smoother, larger, and more powerful. Even nature is singing its praises.
How can you win real cash and prizes yourself without ever leaving home? Find it at NBCI.com/prizes.
Play the Millionaire game at McDonald's. Cash in on the fun starting Thursday.
We love to see you smile.
There's just one cookie worth all this. Only Oreo. Now introducing a smaller version of the classic, new mini Oreos.
That meeting is going to start whether I get rid of this headache or not. So I took Advil Liquid Gels. Stronger and faster than extra-strength Tylenol on tough pain. It's the only pain reliever with liquid inside. Advil Liquid Gels. Stronger and faster.
These days, your eyes need nutrition as well as the rest of your body. So Centrum added the nutrient lutein to help maintain your precious sight. So your eyes, your toes, and everything in between are covered by Centrum, a more complete multivitamin than ever.
Hey, you. Yeah, I miss you too. It's been a while.
Hey, Mom. No, I'll be home soon.
Verizon Wireless. Our network covers more towns, more cities, and more places than anybody else's in the country. So you know that just about anywhere your business takes you, you'll stay connected to your biggest fans. Verizon Wireless. Simple, affordable, national. Join in.
Tomorrow on an all-new Frasier. Dad gets a new therapist.
She did things to me.
bad things.
Then it's an all-new episode of the television phenomenon Weakest Link.
Do I have to beg you to take the money?
If you thought tonight was wild, wait till you see tomorrow. An all-new Weakest Link after an all-new Frasier. NBC tomorrow.
Want to enjoy the seat of power? You can. Become a teacher.
Welcome back to the Weakest Link. Renee and John, you have made it to the final round, and $73,000 is up for grabs. But only one of you can take that money home. So now you will be playing against each other head-to-head. I'll ask alternating questions, best of 5. Whoever answers the most questions correctly wins. It's as simple as that. If there's a tie after 5 questions, we'll go for sudden death until we have a winner. So Renee and John, $73,000. Let's play the Weakest Link. Renee, as the strongest link in the last round, you have the choice of who goes first.
I will go first.
Renee, in science, 32 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to which temperature on the Celsius scale?
0.
That is the correct answer. John, Puccini's opera La Bohème was the basis for which 1996 Tony Award-winning Broadway musical?
Rent.
That is the correct answer. Renee, a spelunker is one who makes a hobby of exploring and studying what?
Caves.
That is the correct answer. John, in business, Jeff Bezos is the CEO and founder of which e-commerce website?
Amazon.com.
That is the correct answer. Renee, awarded to soldiers wounded or killed in action, the medal known as the Purple Heart carries the image of which U.S. president?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
No, the correct answer is George Washington. John, how many sequels have been made to the Mel Gibson, Danny Glover movie, Lethal Weapon?
3.
That is the correct answer. Renee, in literature, Salman Rushdie was sentenced to death by Ayatollah Khomeini for writing which book?
I'm sorry, I know it, and I cannot think of the answer.
The answer is The Satanic Verses. John, if you answer this question correctly, you have won for $73,000. What is the official national language of Brazil?
Portuguese.
That is the correct answer. That means, John, you are tonight's strongest link, and you go away with $73,000. Renee, you leave with nothing.
I am so disappointed and frustrated because I feel that I was the strongest player throughout the whole game.
I'm ecstatic right now. I just want to climb to the top of the highest hill and just scream at the top of my lungs.
I feel that I was cheated out of a lot of money.
We'll be back tomorrow night with another Weakest Link at 9:30, 8:30 Central, following an all-new Frasier. Now stay tuned for Dateline. Goodbye.
Thursday, an all-new night of must-see TV with a friend so outrageous, so hysterical, it's destined to become a Friends classic.
I tell you, that has never happened before.
Plus, special guest Denise Richards in the first of 5 all-new episodes leading up to the big wedding. Plus, all-new episodes of Weber, and all-new Stevie, Will, and Grace.
That is so hot.
And all-new Just Shoot Me. We'll have to explain this. All-new must-see TV, NBC Thursday. You're an eyewitness to a serious question.